Hello, this is Roger Alvarez, and in this specific demo we are going to see how the Google Calendar add-on can be applicable for companies which are deeply integrated with Google Workspaces. So we are basically going to use Google Workspaces to define resources, and we are going to allow, or with this we are going to display how this plugin or this add-on can help companies to centralize the management of resources within an organization or within a building. So this could be applicable in combination to multiple scenarios. It could be applicable for resource management, for integration with another device such as a conference room cameras or conference specialized hardware. I'm going to explain how is the setup from the administrator perspective. Keep in mind that most of the setup is going to happen only one time, and in most of the cases for this specific scenario of use, the setup could be already done because the companies integrated in deep with Google Workspaces should, or most of them are already using this type of integrations. So in this specific image, we can see that there are some spaces that wouldn't require any additional reservation because it's a specific office from one employee, but there are some shared spaces where could be reserved and could bring awareness to others that there is one reservation already happening. So let's continue with it. We are going to take advantage on some functionalities which are already provided by Google Workspaces, such as this one we are seeing in the screen, where's the people working on right now. And more specifically, we are going to take advantage as an employee of the company, how to use rooms and resources which are available for all of the employees. So this is the specific one. So it is pretty natural because it allows any employee to use the resources and to reserve them for specific in a specific time window. So the others are not going to be able to reserve in the same spot. So let's continue with the demo. So I am going to log in to Tapkey. So as a precondition, we should have the installation of the Tapkey smart locks. So in this specific example, I am going to use this Office installation, and this is going to be it's going to be a simplified scenario where we have a building. And we have, for people to be able to use some shared resources, we have the entrance door for the entire building. And then we have 2 meeting rooms which can be reserved using Google Calendar. And this same configuration, it's already within our Tapkey account. So here we have the entrance door for the building, and we have 2 meeting rooms which people can reserve. So first step, and this specific step, it's configuration from Google Workspaces. Google Workspaces, which is basically happening when you already have a domain created from Google, and you are able to administrate resources, offices, groups of people within the administration panel. I am going to give a quick walkthrough, but this is something that only happens one time. So this is one demo account or demo workspace that is named Tapkey Acme. And within this one, I have the users which have been configured. We have the building resources, which are rooms, the resources, which is the list of resources. This is a comprehensive set of resources, buildings, because companies could have a significant amount of branches over one city or even over different countries. So in this case, I am going to be focusing the VM branch Acme Tapkey, and this specific configuration has the same setup that we saw earlier. So then I am going to jump into the, this is something that, as I said, it happens one time. You configure all of the resources and you can specify some additional items such as the capacity of people that they are able to manage, or you can say that only one reservation at a time can be applied. So this is the general configuration from Google Workspaces. Then I am going to jump into Tapkey. So first step, it's this specific user that I am using in this window is the administrator of the Google account, and at the same time this user is the administrator of the physical access. So the name of this user is John Doe. It's the administrator. He already configured all of the resources in the Google Workspaces, and he registered all of the logs within the login system of VM Office. And at the same time, this specific user is going to install and apply all of the configuration and linkage between the Office resources and the add-ons. So I am going to, the Office resources and the logs allowing people to enter these specific resources. So I am going to go to add-ons. After having this installation already done, the next step is to come to Google Calendar. By default, the users are not, or the administrator user is not going to be able to see any information about resources calendars. So every resource created within the organization is going to be represented as an internal calendar so that people knows which reservations are already applied into the calendar. To be able to see this calendar, you need to come to Google Calendar and you need to say that we want to subscribe to the resources calendar. So in this case, I can select Berlin, or I can say I want to see all of the calendars from the VM branch. I am going to add one as an example, which is the Berlin one. And this is going to be automatically created in this specific list. The ones which I am interested on listening about is the VM branch office and all of the meeting rooms within the VM office. So I am going to select all of them and I'm going to hit save, and all of them are going to be available in this specific list. Second thing, once we have configured all of the calendars, we can come to Tapkey, we log in, we navigate to the add-ons page, and we are going to install the Google Calendar add-on. So let's hit continue. I'm going to use John Doe, and we are going to allow Tapkey to access information about the calendar list and the calendar events. Here we have, so the same calendars that we were seeing within Google Calendar are already visible in here. So the next step as an administrator is to configure which is the room association. So I am going to say that for this meeting room 201, I am going to say that you need to have entrance door permissions, and at the same time you have to have access to the same lock, so it is 201. This is exactly the same representation that we have in here. So to enter any of the meeting rooms, you need to have access to the entrance door. So let's save the changes and let's give another quick sync up. So I'm going to use the meeting room 301, so entrance door, and VM meeting room 301. So I'm going to hit save, and the synchronization is enabled from now. So I'm going to review the logs, and we have VM meeting room 301 and VM meeting room 201, all of them empty. Here I'm going to stop using the administrator account. All of the configuration is already completed, and from this specific point All of the events created from employees are going to grant automatic access for them and their invites to the facilities of the organization. So I am going to stop using the administrator account. We are going to use it for verification later on, and this is the specific scenario that is going to be used for a user that is an employee. In this case, Paul Smack is an employee from the same organization. Paul Smack is not an administrator, so for that reason, Paul Smack is not seeing information about building calendars, but Paul Smack is able to reserve spaces. So I am going to reserve one specific long meeting with a provider. So Paul Smack wants to invite Sarah Travelio, which is from the outside of the organization. Paul Smack wants to continue with the same invitation. And in this scenario, we are going to add rooms. In this case, Paul Smack wants to reserve a space in the meeting room 301 from the organization. So I'm going to select this specific room, and I'm going to hit save. Once I have sent the invites, I'm going to add a name to the reservation. So we have meeting to discuss next steps. Then I am going to just send the invitations to all of the invites. Let's click send, invite all guests. And here we have an event within my calendar that should be created as a reservation within Tapkey. Okay, so then I'm going to come back to the administrator account, and I'm going to navigate to the logs. I want to verify that given that Paul Smack has reserved one specific space from 9:30 to 12, this specific reservation should be created as a grant access for the VN meeting room 301 and as well for the entrance door VN building. So let's do it now. So here we have the reservation that is granting access to Paul Smack to enter the room from the same time window, and at the same time we have Sarah Travelio, which we have reserved a space for her to enter in the same time window. Same thing is going to happen in the entrance door. So we have Paul Smack and Sarah. Both of them have been automatically reserved and are able to use the Tapkey application to enter the building and as well the meeting room for secured physical access in the same time window where the event has been reserved. This is one-time configuration. The rest of the usage is going to be a natural use for any employee from the organization. So if we want to reserve every day from Paul Smack, he wants to reserve all of the days the same room, the VN building room 301, and he wants to reserve it for daily. All of these events are going to be created within the integration. So from a member of the organization, it's going to be this task only, but internally, all of the reservations are going to be created for all of the days where Paul Smack has reserved. And as an administrator, you can see that information also. So you can even say that you want to cancel one reservation from Paul Smack because it doesn't make sense or it has collisions, but the internal management could happen directly from the employees of the organization or the members of the organization. So that is it from this way of using the Google Calendar integration. So just like a quick summary, We have a specific space within organizations that can be used in a shared way, and we want to grant or we can give the power to our members to use them at any moment in a controlled way. So we basically can create the same resources in a virtual way within our organization, and once they are created, every member of the organization can use the rooms and can use the resources that we have as an organization. So once we have the mapping between our accessible resources to the Google Calendar account, we can link the logs within the Tapkey add-on application, and they will be created automatically. Every event reserved to the room is going to automatically create the access to the Tapkey logs. So this is pretty much it. This is a concept that is extensible. So basically, in this example, we are only using one specific branch, but we are going to, or this specific integration is pretty flexible in terms of the size of the organization. So the bigger the organization is, the more advantages are going to be obtained with this specific type of integrations. So if we have users that are traveling from Vienna to Berlin, they can reserve facilities from the target branch, and basically have automatically access to the entrance door, to the meeting room, to the office where they want to the office they want to use in the target branch. The same thing if they are traveling across the globe and they have fully integrated Tapkey access, or even they can have different integrations over there, but all of the physical access is going to be automatically granted if they reserve the specific rooms or the specific resources in the target branch. So that this is the main advantage of using this type of integrations. So as an employee or as a member of the organization, it is pretty natural. It's just a reservation of meeting, just taking into account that for the reservation, the members of the organization needs to use the room, the specific room that they want to reserve, and the rest of the items are going to happen naturally as another meeting reservation or a meeting schedule with partners or with vendors. So that's it. Thank you so much for seeing the demo, and see you next time.